Tre Mann had the kind of start to the 2024-2025 season that had basketball fans buzzing. His preseason performance was nothing short of spectacular and set the stage for what many thought to be a breakout season for the young guard. He showed flashes of brilliance during his time on the court, quickly establishing himself as one of the most exciting players to watch in the league. His blend of scoring ability, ball handling, and swag on the court had fans drawing comparisons to some old school point guards. The internet couldn't stop talking about Tre Mann bringing the long shorts back, and the Allen Iverson comparisons were hard to ignore. Mann's fearless play and flashy style reminded many of Iverson's swagger, and people were eager to see if that energy could translate into a standout regular season. Mann was already proving that he could be a key piece of the Charlotte Hornets rotation, coming off the bench and providing an offensive spark. His quickness and smooth shooting stroke made him an offensive weapon, and his ability to score in bursts was something that set him apart. His game was versatile. He was effective as a playmaker and a scorer. Whether he was driving to the basket with creativity, pulling up for jumpers, or knocking down three-pointers well beyond the arc, Mann displayed a level of scoring ability that had fans eagerly anticipating for what was to come. In the first few games of the regular season, Mann continued to impress. He dropped 24 points on opening night in Houston and 27 just a few games later against Toronto. Averaging 14 points, 3 rebounds, and 3 assists per game, he showed that he could do it all. His ability to come off the bench and provide an immediate offensive boost made him a natural early potential candidate for Sixth Man of the Year. What stood out the most was his confidence. Mann's swagger on the court was undeniable. He played with a chip on his shoulder and wasn't afraid to take over when his team needed a spark. Fans couldn't get enough of his high energy style and the way he controlled the game off the bench. His smooth shooting stroke, quick decision making, and the knack for scoring made him a clear contender for the award. But unfortunately, a shocking injury cut his season short. Mann's rise to promise was halted after just 13 games, as he suffered a back injury that forced him to miss a ton of time. Initially, the injury was described as disc irritation, but as time went on, the injury was updated to disc herniation. A herniation is a more serious and concerning injury. Mann had to undergo a surgery to repair the disc in his back, and the recovery window for such an injury can range anywhere between 6 weeks and 6 months, casting doubts on his ability to return to his previous form. His last game was in November of 2024, and after that, fans were left waiting for updates, but the Hornets remained tight-lipped about his condition. The lack of updates surrounding Mann's injury was curious and frustrating for fans. The Hornets provided very little information, and their silence led to speculation about his recovery and future with the team. This situation mirrored what happened to Mark Williams in the previous season, who also dealt with a back injury and received minimal updates from the team. Mann's injury not only affected his individual aspirations but also raised questions about his future with the Hornets. The 24-year-old point guard is scheduled to become a restricted free agent this summer, and the timing of the injury couldn't have been worse. Mann had the chance to sign a contract extension before the season began but chose to bet on himself, hoping to earn a way bigger deal based on his performance during the season. The back injury has left him in a risky position, and it is honestly unclear whether he will be able to return to the player he was before the injury. If Mann can recover fully, he could be a valuable asset for the Hornets in the long term. But if the injury lingers, who knows what the future looks like for him. This silence has led many to wonder if the team has already made up their minds about his future. Given that the Hornets are not in playoff contention this season, some fans speculate that the team made the decision to hold Mann out for the remainder of the year. This would be to avoid irritating his injury or to even rack up more losses as part of their rebuilding strategy, with hopes of getting the #1 overall pick. When it comes to Mann's skill set, there is no denying the potential he has. Tre is a very gifted scorer who can heat up quickly and provide instant offense. His shooting range makes him a dangerous weapon on the floor. While he is not known for his defense, Mann's quickness allows him to compete at that end of the court, though he may struggle against more physical and bigger opponents. However, the bigger question remains, how will this injury affect Mann moving forward? Back injuries are tricky to recover from, and even the most talented players have struggled to return to their former selves after experiencing such issues. I really think that Mann has the potential to be a great player for the Hornets, but that depends entirely on his ability to recover. Many people have seemed to forget about this piece of the team's young core. I truly believe that Tre Mann would have been a serious contender for the Sixth Man of the Year award if he stayed healthy. He definitely could have given Payton Pritchard a run for his money. If you want me to make a video about whether the Hornets should re-sign Tre Mann this summer, comment down below. Why do you think the Hornets have been so tight-lipped about Mann's status? Could there be more to this story? This whole situation seems oddly hushed, and there's something about this that doesn't sit right with me. Make sure you like and subscribe. Culture is out.